Welcome back, grappling fans. My name's John Evans, and I'm back for another Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament match. Real quick before I get started, just two things. One is my friend and teammate Tova, as you can see from the video right here, had a little featurette done on her. It's just a video kind of behind the scenes of what training is like for a big tournament. She's a phenomenal grappler, definitely up there. She's a brown belt. I train with her all the time at Cabrinha's. Fantastic. She's from Sweden. The person who made the film is also from Sweden. I also train with him and just did a really, really great job on it. I know a lot of you have loved ones, family members. They just don't understand the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, and it's really tough to explain it to them. You know, you go out there and you leave it all on the mat every day, blood, sweat, and tears, and you constantly getting broken down, beaten down, your body's beat up, you got bruises everywhere, and it's like, why do you do this? And I think just show them this video, because seriously, it does a really good job of explaining it. It's a great video, and Tova's just an awesome person. I support her in anything she does, so please go check it out if you haven't. I'll have a link in the description below. Also, the other thing is I'm going to be doing an MMA podcast coming up with my friends Eddie and Pedro. Be posting that probably this week. And it's just going to be a fun, lighthearted, off-the-cuff type of thing. But also, it's going to be a technical breakdown of the previous UFC cards that have just passed. So check that out. It's just going to be on this YouTube channel, and I'll just have, it'll be a video, so I'm going to be taking video of it too. I don't know how smart that is, but we'll see. And I will also have a link to the MP3 in the description below that as well, in case you want to download it for a podcast or whatever. So anyway, today's match is going to be with Arther Zuka, and this is in the finals of the Blue Belt World Championships. Go ahead and get it started. Now, he sent this to me. I guess he is the one in the white gi. He didn't send me a ton of information with it, and with the way that YouTube communicates, it's very tough. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I can't always get back to people because the settings in YouTube don't allow you to respond to posts. So anyway, his opponent pulls guard, and right here it looks like Arther is trying to pass the half guard or maybe set up a choke, but his opponent has a really good grip under here. He's got that gi right there underneath the bottom. And once you have this, and then you've got the forearm underneath the leg and grabbing the gi, oh, it's very tough. And yes, he does pull it out. Arther trying to make the padlock there, trying to pull his opponent's arm out, but he doesn't get it working. His opponent with the over-under and makes the low pass by stepping over this leg. Very, very nice by his opponent. And Arther holding on to, it looks like he has a loop choke that he's trying to hold on to. And of course, when you pass the side control, this can be a finisher. But you have to have good leverage on it, and I'm not sure he does. He sits back up and he goes right for the loop choke. And now, in his message to me, he said that he finishes everyone with this choke, and I'm assuming that the loop choke is what he's talking about because it's the one he keeps going for. It is a great choke. My only concern is that you don't want to be a one-trick pony because not everyone's susceptible to everything. So, in other words, like I competed at the World Championship blue belt, and I was second or third round one year, and I got someone in an omoplata, and I sat up on it, and my knees darn near went through the back of the guy's head, and his arm was in all kinds of weird, funky positions, and he didn't freak out. He's very comfortable there, clearly had very flexible shoulders, and he wasn't going to submit to an omoplata no matter how far it went. As soon as I started to go on the choke, though, I transitioned to the cross collar, he started freaking out. So I realized that, well, this guy just does not tap to omoplatas. He's got really flexible shoulders. So that's the only problem I know with chokes. You can't train your neck or anything like that, but some people are just different, and they're not going to submit to those same things. So try to be a little bit more diverse. That's kind of the main advice I can give, just because it's hard to see from a spectator's point exactly what he's doing incorrectly, if anything. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give. Have at least a couple of different go-tos that you can use in case your plan A does not follow through. So anyway, his opponent is sitting here. He's trying to get in this low pass position. Arther's sitting up, again, looking for this loop choke, but it already has not worked on his opponent a couple of times. I know that seems to be his go-to, but like I said, it's not going to work on 100% of the people 100% of the time. So it looks like he's trying to transition, just get his guard back, and his opponent just in this very crushing low pass position with this arm over this leg. and should be stuffing Arthur's leg in between his own down below there. And Arthur bringing his foot over, trying to frame away, make a little bit of space, get some guard retention. This guy's head just wandering into the shot right there continuously. Very nice. But it looks like Arthur goes inverted. Looked like he was nearly trying to jump up over the back because his opponent's head was so low, but it didn't quite work out. And here he's trying to pry that arm free, and it looks like he's going to go for a triangle here. If he can get up on his knees, get this top knee all the way to the ground and lock up that triangle, then that will be like a inverted topside triangle, and you can flip them over, your opponent over to their back, and you can finish it there. But it looks like his leg's still stuck between his opponent's leg, and then that's just going to be no good. And if you're a passer, that's exactly what you want to be doing. You want that leg that's in the leg that's on the floor. You want that in between your legs. That kind of kills that whole triangle, kills a lot of options, a lot of hip mobility from your opponent. So it looks like they stand back up, and his opponent sits to guard, but now they're both kind of working on guard. I believe whoever stands up right now should get an advantage, although I believe Arthur is down on points because his opponent passes guard. And Arthur going right for a choke right there, but he goes right into the half guard of his opponent. And I can't really see because the camera work, not the greatest, but that's okay. It can be hard, and this guy is definitely throwing a monkey wrench in things. But the opponent is getting up right now. Arthur, unfortunately, you cannot go for knee bars. I'm not sure if that's what he was going for, or if he's trying to go back to 50-50 to lock up a little bit of a stalling position to set up his next move, but cannot go for knee bars. Unfortunately, I believe that, I think at purple belt and up, you should be able to do pretty much whatever, but that's okay. And here he goes right on the loop choke. It actually looks very, very deep, but his opponent somehow gets out. It's too quick and too far away for me to see exactly why it's not working. And here he's going on a belly down footlock, but as you can see, his arm is way too extended down by his own waist, and that's just not going to get the leverage that you need to finish that belly down arm lock, or footlock, excuse me. And here he is in what I call the footlock position, where he's up and under, and here, once you get that foot hoisted up, you should try to push with your bottom leg, push your opponent away, and then you can do a technical stand-up, and then your hips are going to be higher than your opponent's hips, and that way you can just get a nice clean sweep out of it. But it looks like that did not work out, and I believe time's about to run out, or it's starting to run out, and Arthur is down on points, so there's a mad scramble. His opponent doing a little bit of a stall, which is an excellent tactic. If you're up on points, of course, you don't want to get any negative points on you for stalling, but you do, you want to play smart, and it looks like he pulls guard, and Arthur sits right to a footlock, and he's going on hard, but I believe time runs out, and Arthur loses, unfortunately for him. But it was, it's a good attempt, and like I said, this is the finals of the blue belt featherweight division. You had 6 matches before this, both people, it's the performance that you give might not be as stellar as you could potentially give, just because 7 matches total is just ridiculous. I still think he did a really good job. They had a very good energy level to both of them for having as many fights as they did. Unfortunately, Arthur could not get the loop choke like he wanted, but I mean, he just wasn't playing the points game, and he didn't have a follow-up, so that really can hinder you. Of course, if your opponent is playing the points game like his opponent was, he was passing guard and everything, if you don't get submitted, and he didn't get submitted, then you're going to win. So it is important to play both. I mean, if it's a no time limit submission-only tournament, then absolutely go for broke on the submissions, but you can't let your guard get passed when you're trying for a submission that may not work. And I know that's a little bit deceptive too, because Arthur was probably submitting everyone with this loop choke, and he just couldn't get it to work on this one guy. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I'm sure he's a very good competitor. Obviously, if he made it to the finals of the blue belt featherweight division, awesome. So good job to him. Sorry it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. Congrats to his opponent, of course, for winning. But yeah, that's the breakdown. Like I said, I'll be posting up that MMA podcast soon. And until next time, guys, see you later.